In today's video, I'm going to show you three things. First, how to check the expiry date of a gas cylinder. Second, how to check expansion valve and regulator leaks on a gas cylinder. Third, what does WC and TW means on a gas cylinder. Many people out there, they use gas at home, hotels, industries, and other places, but few knows how dangerous it might be. In today's video, I'm here to tell you some secrets or to give you information about gas cylinders and how you can use them without getting any problem. We all know that gas is very important because it is faster, cleaner, and easier to control heat with no smoke. But still, it's very harmful and it may lead to death of you, the user, your people at home, and the neighbors as well. As we start, all cylinders has this part. It is known as the expansion valve or main valve. You can either call it main valve or expansion valve. This is what you open to release gas to the regulator. And this is the regulator I'm talking about. Regulator controls gas flow and is the connection point for the gas cylinder and the gas cooker because that's where both attaches. My dear ones, just listen to this part very carefully and attentively. Cylinders also do have expiry date, but few people knows that, and you might be hearing this for the first time. Another thing, the cylinder can still be in good condition, but when the problem is either on the expansion valve or the regulator itself. And once it gets expired or having any issue with the regulator or valves, that means the gas will start leaking from the cylinder. And this is the reason why sometimes you find your gas finishing so fast. If you have a housemaid at home, you might think that maybe she's misusing the gas, or sometimes you take the blame to the children or your wife. But the fact is, it's not their fault. The cylinder itself is leaking the gas out through the expansion valves, and you might be lucky enough for that first day or second time you can survive. But ask yourself. Now let's have a look at this picture. This part is made up of something inside, as I indicated in the picture here. And once they get old, everything will get damaged. And it cannot close tightly anymore because it will not be able to hold it. That's when the gas will start leaking slowly from the cylinder, which is very, very dangerous. Let's take an example, guys. The expansion valve is passing out gas when you have no idea. Then you just come and connect the regulator to the gas cooker. Then you go on and start cooking. We are just giving an example. That means the fire will flash back because the gas has already escaped from warm valve and is now heavier than air, even before you lighten the cooker. I'm telling you. So it will just spark back and it will cause that gas explosion. How to know that your valve or regulator is leaking? The easiest way to find this, you just have to do soap test every time you connect your gas before start using it. And this, it doesn't matter which kind of soap you are using, either bar soap, either liquid soap, it all works. Just put soapy water on valves and regulators. If you are using bar soap, just get little water, put it in a container, add soap and mix it to create a rich lather. Once you create a rich lather, it means that it will work for you. If you are using liquid soap, just add a little bit of water. Don't make it so watery. Add a little bit of water, then apply it on the expansion valve and regulators around here around. Then, if you see bubbles forming, that means there is a leak. It means that the expansion valve or the regulator, it's leaking. It depends where you find those bubbles. Because when it's not leaking, nothing will happen when you add that soapy water. So my dear, if you find that, just turn it off immediately and get a cylinder to be checked to avoid further problems. Are we together? Now, how to know the manufacturing date of a gas cylinder? We have two lifespans. Some steel cylinder can go up to 15 years if they are well maintained. But the maximum period should be 10 years to 12 years to avoid risks. I'm telling you. 10 years to 12 years. We have the expiry date and you have the tested date. Those two things, they are so important. Very, very important. On some cylinders, you might find when they have indicated manufacturing date or date of manufacture or attested date. It doesn't matter. Attested date, manufacturing date, they are so important on a gas cylinder. Then when we continue, on the gas cylinder, you might find when they indicate it like here. You see, here they use DT. DT, some cylinders they indicate MFC. Some cylinders they indicate from A up to D. Are we together? So when you find that, don't get worried. DT, it stands for date of manufacturer. MFC, it stands for manufacturing date. Then I'll show you how to know A, B, C, and D. What does it mean? Are we together? I'm here to show you anything. Let's start with DT. DT, we have said that it means date of manufacture. MC means manufacturing date or tested date. For example, here, you might find when they put DT 12.24. That means that that cylinder was manufactured or was tested in December 2024. Are we together? If you find they write DT, for example, here on my cylinder, they write DT 03/2024. That means this cylinder was manufactured or was last tested on this, like in this month of March 2024. Are we together? You see on my cylinder here, it's DT, that's the date of manufacture, 03/2024. 03 stands for March. Are we together? April, May, like that. So it was March 2024. If you find, for example, they put MFC 09/18, that means that cylinder was tested, or that cylinder was manufactured in September 2028. If you find they indicate like MFC 06/26, it means it was manufactured or it was tested in June 2026. Are we together, dear ones? That's how you will know, because you will not find when they write that date, that M, or like they write that manufacturing date in full, or few cylinders indicates that they write it in full. Expiry, they will not put their expiry date. So when you find, for example, this cylinder of mine is having DT 03/2024, that means it was manufactured in March 2024. So from that date, like that date which they have indicated on your cylinder, just count the maximum of 10 years to 12 years. For example, here it's 03/2024. That means it was manufactured in March 2024. Then from 2024, I have to count either 10 years or 12 years. For example, if I count 10 years, I add 10 years on 2024. That means it will get expired in 2034. Are we together? If I count 12 years, it will get expired in 2036. That means in either 2036 or 2034, I will take that cylinder to be attested to find whether it's in good condition, whether it can still carry gas. Or some cylinders doesn't indicate either DT or MFC, but they rather indicate A, B, C, and D. When you find your cylinder indicating this, like when they indicate it in that way, for example, here in the picture, as you can see here, it's A25. That means it was manufactured or it was tested, like it was tested in between January and March 2025, because it's A 2025. That means it was manufactured or it was tested last tested in between January and March. I'm gonna show you how you find this. So how will you know this, that it's either March, it's either September? All here is the very logic. There is A, B, C, D. Then A, when you find that they have indicated A on your cylinder, that A represents January, February, and March. B represents April, May, and June. C represents July, August, and September. D represents October, November, and December. That means when you find, when they have indicated A, for example, A 20 on your cylinder, that means that cylinder was manufactured or was last attested in between January and March. If you find the right C on your cylinder, that means that cylinder was manufactured or was last tested in between July and September. Then this like 25 or 20, it represents the year. A, or like the letter, represents the month, and the digit represents the year. Are we together? That means if you find the right A25, that means that cylinder was manufactured or was tested in between January, March 2025. If you find B25, it means it was last attested or it was manufactured in between April and June 2025. You find when they write C 2025, that means it was last attested or it was manufactured in between July and September 2025. If you find D25, that means it was manufactured or it was last attested in between October and December 2025. It doesn't mean that you'll find 2025 Aries. Sometimes you can find B13. That means it was manufactured or it was last tested in between April and June 2013. So from that period, you just add 10 years or 12 years, because we have said that's the maximum period, the maximum it can take. So just quote me well, guys. I'm not talking about the gas inside the cylinder that gets expired. No, I'm talking about the cylinder itself. It's the one getting expired, not the gas, but the cylinder. Because the cylinder is this cylinder tank is the one holding the gas. So when it gets damaged, the cylinder, that's when the problem will occur. Before I finish this video, let's look at these simple things. We have here, look here, we have TW. TW represents the tail weight. This is the weight of empty cylinder without anything, without putting gas. That means that before putting gas, when you find TW means it's the weight for the cylinder itself without anything when it's empty. Then we have this WC. WC, that represents the weight capacity. Weight capacity. It means the total volume of gas in the cylinder. They are giving WC, they are giving you the total weight or the total volume of a gas that cylinder can hold. When you find WC, don't get confused. When you find TW, kindly don't get confused. So now back to my fellow Africans, because this issue I'm gonna mention here is more commonly in Africa. How can you check that the weight they have given you or the weight they have put in your cylinder, it's the actual weight which is inside? Because someone can tell you that I've given you a full cylinder, but when he's just putting a half of it, then you pay for the weight. For example, he's telling you that I've put like 10 kilograms in your cylinder, yet he has put 5 kilograms. Then you pay for 10 kilograms, yet you have taken only 5 kilograms. How will you know that? I will give you two methods. The first method you can do, you can just look here on the TW, because we have said TW represents the tail weight. It's the empty cylinder. That means the empty cylinder is, for example, here is carrying 15 kg. Are we together? The TW here on my cylinder, it's 15.0. Are we together? Then you look here. There is 25.5 kilograms. That means 25.5 kilograms. We have to subtract this 15.0 kg. That will come with a total of 10.5. Are we together, guys? 25.5 minus 15 kilograms. We get a balance of 10 kilograms. Now, You just get your weighing scale and you measure the cylinder to find it out if it's making sense, the total, like if it's making the total of 25. Remember, you have paid for 15. You come and you want to pay for 15 kilograms. And that cylinder, when you add the 15 kilograms to the cylinder, it makes a total of 25.5. Are we together? So, because the cylinder itself, it's 15.0. That's the cylinder. It's making 15.0. That means 15.0, that's the cylinder, not the gas. So now you have to find how much this cylinder of 15.0 can carry when you add your gas. That means you just have to pay for 10.5. When you come, you just need to refill 10.5 kilograms, not for 25 kilograms, because 25.5 includes even the TW of the cylinder. Are we together? You get your weighing scale and you weigh. Because when you pay the 10.5, that means the total will be 25.5. The second simple way you can check for your cylinder whether it's full, you just have to pour warm water. Just get warm water. Quote me well. I've said warm water, not boiling water. Don't boil your water, then you bring it from fire and you pour it on the cylinder. No, my dear ones. I said warm water. Back to the point. Pour warm water down to the cylinder. Just pour on the sides of the cylinder. Avoid pouring it on the expansion valves and the regulators. Please, just pour on the sides. Pour on the sides of the cylinder. Hope we are together. The part of the tank or the part of the cylinder that contains gas will feel cold to the touch. What I mean, when you touch the cylinder after pouring warm water, you'll feel the part with gas, it will be cold, and the other part without gas will be warm like the water. It will be warm the way that, it will be warm like the water you have poured. Are we together? Remember, liquid gas absorbs heat from the metals. Are we together? So when you pour it, you pour warm water on the sides of the cylinder, you start touching, you find that the other part will be cold and the other part will be warm. For example, if someone has told you that I've given you a full cylinder, yet he has just refilled a half of it, when you start touching like this from up, you find that the up part will be warm and this down part, it will be cold. Where you feel cold, that means the gas just stopped there. And where you feel that it's warm, that means the gas, that's where it stopped. That means the warm part is empty. The cold part, that's where the gas was refilled.